views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey there, sports fans. Bobby C for Sports NYC. Thanks for tuning into the program. On today's show, we'll catch up with Indianapolis 500 champion Alexander Rossi. We'll take a look at a brand new movie that premiered right here at Yankee Stadium. Then we'll catch up with the first place Bronx Bombers before wrapping the show with an exclusive interview with Rangers legend Mike Richter. All that and more is coming up next, so keep it locked. This is Sports NYC. We lead off the show with an exclusive look at the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500, the beginning of summer. Here's Alexander Rossi. Joined now by defending champion of the Indianapolis 500, Alexander Rossi. Alexander, thank you so much for joining us.
No, my pleasure.
So I heard you're a New England Patriots fan, a West Coast guy, but what's harder to believe, watching that Super Bowl or your Hollywood-esque finish in the 100th running of the Indy 500?
Probably watching the Super Bowl, honestly. I mean, I don't think anyone saw that at halftime when they were down 24 points, that they were going to be coming back from that, especially when the fourth quarter started. So I was stressed as a Patriots fan. Growing up in California, but moving to Europe at 16, the only NFL teams I could watch were the Patriots and the Packers. So I became a Patriots fan, and that was pretty exciting to watch.
Well, as you gear up for 101, in your opinion, can the sequel be better than the original?
I certainly hope so. I mean, we won last year's by running out of gas after we had a pretty difficult start to the race. So this year we're starting on the front row. We have a really, really quick car. Olive Andretti Autosport has done an amazing job with 6 cars entered in the Indianapolis 500 this year, and I think all of us have a shot to win. And I'd love to do it with the engine running this time.
Been a lot of buzz, obviously, surrounding F1 champion Fernando Alonso being in the race. Does that take a little bit of pressure off of you as you try to repeat?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we've been flying pretty well under the radar a lot for most of the week and qualifying, and just, doing our job each day and making sure the car continues to progress forward. It's very easy with the amount of practice time that you get at the speedway to kind of get lost and slip down a slippery slope that's hard to recover from, and we've just been very methodical about it, not looking at timesheets, not really caring where we are, and just making sure the car gets better and more comfortable, and we executed that on qualifying, and I feel really good about our race car as well. In traffic, it's been really, really strong, and now I guess the goal is to get more than just one.
So I can't think of a better person to ask when the 500's coming up. As the champion, why should fans tune in on Sunday to watch the race?
Well, first of all, it's the largest single-day sporting event in the world. It's a pretty special thing to be a part of, whether you're a spectator, someone watching at home, or participating in it. And you've got 33 guys going over 230 miles an hour for 500 miles. And it's one of the few races where there's a true chance for any of the 33 guys to actually win it, because it is such a long race and so much goes on that's kind of out of your control. That you really never know who's going to win until who's coming out of the last corner on the last lap.
So last year was all about the fuel strategy for you. What does it take to win the Indy 500, and what do you expect to do this year? Maybe different or the same?
I have no idea what it takes to win. I don't think anyone does. They say that the speedway chooses the winner. So there's a lot that goes into it in terms of preparation, and you have to make sure that you execute well the things that are in your control, and make sure you make those right decisions. But there's so much that can happen that's out of your control, and if things go in the right direction, you have to make sure that you're there to capitalize on it. So for me, the plan is just to go in and make sure each lap is good, and I'm doing my job right, and then if it's meant to be, then it'll happen.
Last year after the 500, you got a chance to come to New York, and now obviously back again, and hopefully be back again when you win and repeat again. What are your impressions of the Big Apple?
Oh, I love New York. I lived for 5 years in London, and I loved my time in London, but I always compared New York to like a newer, better version of London. So I have a lot of friends here, and I enjoy every time I get to come here. Unfortunately, the past 3 times have been 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. media schedule, so I haven't really gotten to enjoy it a whole lot from a personal standpoint. But, especially during the summer months, love coming back here and spending some time with friends.
We know that you got to go. We don't want to keep you. I mean, obviously, I feel as a fan as well, it was great that you decided to stay with IndyCar and not go back to F1. You've kind of become the face, I would say, of the league. Do you take a lot of pride in knowing that you're kind of building the sport? Because I feel like more and more people have decided to tune in because of your victory.
Oh, 100%. I appreciate you saying that. We're, as a series, as the Rising IndyCar Series, as Andretti Autosport, or as myself personally, as Alexander Rossi, we're trying to build everything to become a bigger platform in the United States and globally. And I think the 100th running was a huge success. And there was a lot of momentum that we generated off of that race. And, there's a lot of very good people working very hard to grow all 3 of those areas in as big of a way as possible to hopefully make IndyCar and motorsports more of a household talked about thing in the U.S.
Well, congratulations again and good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Rossi's such a great guy, but he ends up finishing 7th in this year's Indianapolis 500, and it goes to the first Japanese driver to ever win the greatest spectacle in racing, Takuma Sato, the 40-year-old. He takes this year's Indy 500, a great race. We'll take a timeout here on Sports NYC, but when we come back, we'll have some more Yankee baseball here on the program.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
I will not be news today. I will not make another push to be the first man in space with frosted tips and a puka shell necklace. And I will not go viral when my terror is caught on camera when I finally realize that in the vacuum of space, no one can hear you sing. I'm Lance Bass, and I will not be trending today because there is a much bigger story that needs to be heard.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
The Indianapolis 500 is all about traditions, and the Yankees, of course, are all about traditions as well. And Hope Week has become a perennial tradition here in the Bronx. Here's a look at Hope Week 2017. A rainy day at the ballpark Thursday, no worries though, plenty of smiles to go around. A moment of magic. Volunteers wearing Disney princess costumes surprised children with pediatric cancer. Shortly after, Yankees general manager Brian Cashman along with pitchers Masahiro Tanaka, Jordan Montgomery, Michael Pineda, CC Sabathia, and Luis Severino dressed up as popular superheroes to surprise the children.
We come out here and we hope that we can cheer people up, and just to see one kid smile, I think it makes it all worth it. I mean, that's what we're here to do. This is our platform, and we feel like you try to reach as many people as possible. And today was a good day.
I was so happy to be involved because I know the Yankees always do an amazing job with Hope Week, and so just to be a part of it is a great gift to myself. So I was so thankful to be a part of it today.
The Yankees are a great person, you know. We got a lot of young guys here, you know. Hey, they want to help, and it feels good to be here with the kids and helping, you know, playing with them and doing a lot of stuff.
It's a unique opportunity for us to connect with people on a human level, really. I mean, a lot of the organizations and the families and the kids that we try and honor are, you know, they're really beacons of light who have to overcome, in many cases, some tremendous obstacles. And for basically the whole organization, I think it's something that we all look forward to.
The Moment of Magic was founded in December 2014 by Kylie McGrain and Maggie McAndrew, both English majors who graduated last weekend from the College of Mount St. Vincent in the Bronx. With the help of college-aged volunteers, the program arranges visits to sick children, primarily those with pediatric cancer in hospitals, schools, and social service institutions.
Kylie and I were so surprised. We had no idea. We thought we were just coming here to hang out with these kids that we love so much. So to have the Yankees, you know, really stand behind something that we believe in so strongly, and the donation from them is going to help us reach so many more children, which is the main mission of us. We want to get to as many kids as possible and make their day as special as possible.
Just as much as it's a fairy tale coming true for the child, it also, you know, gives this volunteer this amazing sense that they did something beautiful and got to love a child, and it's just really all around an incredible experience.
In the 9 years of existence for Yankees Hope Week, the Yankees are 31-12. Now that's an impressive record. Another first, you could say, for the Yankees. And when it comes to first, Yankee Stadium has been a place where there have been a lot of firsts of late, and that includes a brand new movie premiere, one that has given hope to the Bronx. Here's Megan Levy's story. Set to hit theaters June 9th, Megan Levy, a film based on the true life story of a young Marine corporal whose unique discipline and bond with her military combat dog saved many lives during their deployment in Iraq, premiered at Yankee Stadium Monday evening, bringing together the all-star cast, which included Kate Mara, Ramon Rodriguez, Common, and Edie Falco.
The emotional aspect of Megan's life and her journey was definitely the most challenging. You know, the physical stuff, sure, that's challenging as well. But I would say emotionally speaking, it was, you know, just a roller coaster constantly. But I knew it would be.
I just felt it was such a relatable story. I thought it was fascinating to really kind of understand how a female Marine comes up in this world. I don't know, for me it had a couple entry points into a war film that I don't think we've seen before.
Right now, at a time in the world where we just want truth and want something real, I think this story, from Megan's story in itself, is so authentic and real, and it resonates. And I think we need it. We need stories that deal with humanity and love in this way.
I think this story is going to connect a lot of folks. You know, it's a love story, and it's about a woman dealing with her past. And I think that's something a lot of folks can kind of relate to. So it's great to see these type of films be made and get out there and premiere at a cool place like here, like the Yankee Stadium.
We caught up with the real Megan Levy, a big Yankee fan who today works for the organization.
I've grown up a Yankees fan. Now I have the privilege of working for this amazing organization. And my movie is the first movie to be shown here. Like, what more could I ask for? Like, this is just amazing in every way possible.
Hopefully, Megan Levy will be a hit in the box office and come in first, so to speak. The Bronx Bombers this season, they've been in first pretty much the entire way, and that included a terrific series in the month of June against their heated rival, the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees taking 2 of 3 from the Bo Sox. Here's a look.
Do you take the series the same way you would any series, or are you a little more juiced the way the fans might be for a series like this?
You know, obviously it's a division series against the team that's, you know, right on our heels. So, you know, obviously big games, you know, you can make up a lot more ground when you're playing the team that you're chasing. So, you know, for us to be able to bounce back after that first one, it's obviously a good series for us.
I feel really good because that's why you wake up every day and working hard for having a good season and having your team. And right now, every 5 days, I'm trying to help my team and winning the game. So everything right now is look good. So I'm happy with that.
Gary, can you talk about the rhythm that you and Michael had tonight?
Bueno, se mantuvo.
I think the key was the fastball today was cutting a lot. It was sinking a lot too. Also, the changeup was really good too, and the slider. You know, whenever he needed to throw that slider low and cut down, he was able to do that. I think that was the key tonight.
Lineup did its job the last 2 nights, but the pitching obviously stepped up as well. How important is it to have 2 performances like that after losing the first game of the series?
Oh, it's great. You know, that's where we kind of start off, is when our pitching goes out there and sets the tone. You know, our offense, we try to match that. You know, if the pitcher's going out there going 110%, you know, making his pitches, executing, you know, you got a job to do on offense. We try to go out there and do it.
We have to take a timeout here on Sports NYC. We celebrated Memorial Day with the Indianapolis 500. When we come back, we'll celebrate Mother's Day with Derek Jeter.
You're coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back to Sports NYC. Thanks for staying with us. Here's an exclusive look at Derek Jeter's day in the Bronx as the Yankees retire good old number 2.
This is one of those special days that you'll never forget. And, you know, when you have this dream of playing baseball and playing for the Yankees, having your number retired is never part of it. So this is all icing on the cake for me. It's a special day. I mean, that's, even now, what do you say? I mean, number was retired by the Yankees. I mean, it's hard to believe.
I think people get a kick out of asking me who was the best player you ever managed. And, you know, Derek, it's an easy choice for me. And the interesting part about it, you know, I managed for close to 30 years. And I can bet you that probably every single one of those other players I managed never resented that.
If you ever needed a big hit in a situation, and especially in the postseason, you know, those are hard at bats to come by and hard at bats under pressure. And Derek was the absolute best at handling those at bats.
Derek would do anything to win. It didn't matter what it was. He would do anything to win, and that's the only reason he came to the ballpark. So he would sacrifice his body. He would tell the managers fibs about how he felt. He was ready to go every day.
You know, very fitting for a guy that did everything for this organization, and you know, the guy that really was the leader of our group.
Just being here the last few days and walking around or going to eat and you know, all the kind words that I've gotten from Yankee fans. But every time I come back, the fans have been awesome, and especially these last few days.
Just about baseball. Sports fans, of course, right now glued to TVs to see the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is a recap of how the New York Rangers playoff season came to an end against the Ottawa Senators in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals.
It's not the way that we obviously wanted to start, and throughout this series we had started every game, you know, fairly well. The 4 games that we've lost in this series, it's as simple as them making one more play defensively or one more play offensively.
I thought our first period was really solid, especially against a team like New York here in their building. Probably one of the top teams that come out in the first period. They play really strong, and we pushed the pace and thought the first period really set ourselves up.
Knowing how well the Rangers have played in elimination games at the Garden, how much of a turning point is it to score that first goal the first time in the series that you guys have had the lead?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know how good they were in elimination games. I don't pay attention to stats in the past and all that. It was all about putting our game on the ice. It wasn't about the Rangers. We knew what we wanted to adjust to, and we knew the previous game we had some adjustments that worked out well for us, and we wanted to put on the ice here, but we thought the biggest part was the mental part.
They were playing terrific in the first and maybe, you know, had a few more opportunities, but again, we made it hard for them to get through the neutral zone and create anything really dangerous, and you know, that just carried over all the way through the game, and you know, we just stuck with it no matter what happened.
Rangers so close to meeting up with the Penguins, and of course now the Pens and the Nashville Predators playing in a terrific Stanley Cup final. We caught up with a guy that knows about winning the Stanley Cup here in New York. Here's an exclusive with Mike Richter.
Honestly, it's a great place, and I like what the Rangers do here. They bring some of the older guys back, and it's great to reconnect with the community. It's easier, honestly, when you're retired. When you're playing, it's go, go, go. And you know, I'm a fan too, so I love watching the game here. We'll do some questions and answers. It's a pretty damn good night here at Empire.
You know, Mike, so many times people always talk about how humble hockey players are, and you've always been such a great ambassador for the game, especially here in the United States. You know, for you, what is it like to give back to the fans and to be able to, you know, share some stories, sign some autographs, and really just be that great ambassador to the game?
Look, the Rangers put yourself in good positions. They have a really great way of getting some of the alums back into the game. And, you know, for me, as I said, I'm a fan. I like listening to those stories when I played, and I like listening to them afterwards. So they've got a great alumni group, and they all seem to come back now in a really good way. And look, we're all fans. We are all little kids that played this game and looked up to some of the older guys, and it is an opportunity to give it back, but we're still fans, so we get to watch the games.
So tonight you get to be here with the Rangers viewing party. What are your thoughts also on Empire City? Because they often bring back a lot of legends as well.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable place. Listen, I went by here. We used to come back and forth after games up and down here all the time in Yonkers, and this place is amazing. It looks brand new, and people are happy, and they love it. I've talked to a lot of people who are in and out of here, so pretty cool place. I'll be back.
I mean, your resume is so incredible. Hall of Famer, All-Star, Stanley Cup champion. You know, reflecting now and looking back, is there one thing on your resume that you would say to yourself, this is what I want to be defined by?
Well, I think what you want is consistency. You know, you can only control what the effort you put in, and that translates sometimes to win, sometimes it doesn't. What I thought was when we were in New York and it took all that time to get to learn how to win as an organization, I thought we'd repeat many, many times. And what I think you understand as you get older is it's a fleeting thing, and you're very lucky. I mean, look, to play in the NHL, it's a gift, but to play in a place like New York, it's almost overwhelming. But to win here, I don't think there's a better place to do it.
I mean, you make jokes about looking older, but you definitely don't look older. You still look like you could play. I mean, do you think back? I mean, 1994, if you were to tell someone 1994, wow, a lot of time has passed. But, I mean, you guys are the greatest Ranger team of all time. And obviously, you were such an incredible player on that team. Are the thoughts about '94 resonating more and more each year?
Well, look, you recognize the great opportunity that it was and a really unique moment in history, but this is a fantastic organization, and they have put together a team in the last decade that's been very consistent and very good and is constantly knocking at the door. So, look, I'm a homer, but I always root for these guys, and I think they've got an excellent team this year, so let's hope we do it again.
Mike, we don't want to keep you getting pulled away here. Thanks so much for the time.
Take it easy, man. Thanks for having me.
That's all the time we have here on the program. We wanted to extend a special thanks to IndyCar and Alexander Rossi, and Empire City and Mike Richter for being on the program. We'll see you next time.